Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's the music reviewer here. It is a late Wednesday night. Hope everyone's having a good week so far, and you're joining me on a new episode of Best and Worst Track of the Week of the week of July 18th. Yeah, I am mentally preparing myself for how long this episode's going to be. It is a my first album bomb doing this, and due to the my own parameters that I set. Yeah, I have to listen to everything that came in this week and review it for you guys. So, yeah, no biggie. It's just basically going to be a Pop Smoke album review. I'm already warning you guys. Yeah, but before we get started, I just want to let everyone know last review was over the new Bedroom album, that shoegaze outfit, relatively new band that came from the UK. Thanks to everyone that's listened to that. Um, and yeah, just everyone, if you could also check out my IG account, Instagram, the Music Reviewer Podcast is on there. There's a Twitter. Don't really tweet anything other than like the episode links. So IG, you'll probably find like more visually stimulating. But yeah, let's get started on this best and worst track of the week. Yeah, so when I started the best and worst track of the week as an idea, I figured at some point we would get weeks like this where we get tracks coming into the Billboard Hot 100 that are just here due to the hype surrounding an album, um, especially a posthumous album from uh, artists that from an artist such as Pop Smoke, who is or was a hip hop artist, and I'm I'm going to say it in like the most I guess correct way I can. Maybe his hype was generated more so after he had passed. But nonetheless, I'm glad to be doing this episode. There's going to be more than likely another album bomb next week with the Juice Wrld album. So, um, but just to lightly touch on everything with the Hot 100, yeah, a lot of things last week and the week before that are just out. A lot of those entries that we covered, they were they didn't they didn't last, mainly due to this Pop Smoke album. But I found that interesting. I kind of predicted some of that would be happening, but the Pop Smoke album certainly didn't help. But let's not delay things any further. First track coming in this week was Yaya by 6ix9ine. It was the lowest new entry, I think somewhere around 99. Um, this track really caught me off guard. This is a reggaeton track, completely sang in Spanish, solely performed by 6ix9ine. He has no help from any other artist on here, and it's weird because it doesn't really sound like him. It has this big sounding beat. It's loud. It sounds like a Bad Bunny track, honestly. I didn't know he was capable of speaking Spanish, let alone doing um, a vocal take that sounds like it could honestly fit into a reggaeton contemporary radio playlist. Um, it's honestly very generic sounding, this Latin club type genre thing going on. There's some weird effects and embellishments thrown in. I'd say it sounds more similarly to an Azuna song, but I gave it a B plus. I'm not trying to congratulate or pat 6ix9ine on the back, but yeah, this one I enjoyed more than most of his stuff. The next track we have coming in was our first track from Pop Smoke's album, Tunnel Vision Outro. This track right here features a drill type beat. I guess like 50% of his albums kind of like that. So it features like those wobbly, deep synth bass lines that I think are really important to this type of thing. Excuse me. Um, some quirky embellishments that are thrown in. Um, it's a nice tribute to Pop Smoke too. I think there's some things thrown in that acknowledge the death. It presents a nice mood. I gave that one a B. Surprise, surprise. Next track is Diana featuring King Combs by Pop Smoke. This one features a bright beat, has some sparkly embellishments. Song basically about being a bad bitch. It has like an old school type beat style to it, maybe like early Kanye like. I love the bass drum sound on this. It hits really well and it kind of sticks out, but in a good way. Some animated production, and it's a nice mix between on Pop Smoke's part between vocalizing and rapping. He raps with a good flow. Overall, not a bad track. This is a B plus. And next track over here, we take a break from Pop Smoke and we get probably foreshadowing to what's to come with Life's a Mess, featuring Halsey by Juice Wrld. This is a pretty standard Juice Wrld song. From what I'm hearing, it has this typical plucked guitar instrumental that structures the beat. Has a build up supported by this bass synth line, and then it drops into like this pretty cool melodic emo chorus, kind of like Sum 41, Blink 182 type thing. The bass synth does muddy up the production. I will say that. It's very poppy though. I noticed that it's not really hip hop or trap, um, even though that's what Juice WRLD's probably associated with. Of course, Paltsy's part came in with like this exposed part. It was more stripped down and leads to like this kind of like developed string synth instrumental. I could have maybe done without it. Um, it's just a very glossy, kind of just like glitzy pop song. I gave that one a C plus. Next, we're back on the Pop Smoke stuff. West Coast shit featuring Tyga and Quavo. This one features like a minor key piano instrumental that structures the beat. Uh, great when the drum. It's great when the drums kick in. Tyga's verse isn't bad. The hook is like very Migos like. It's pretty much a Migos song. Pop Smoke's verse is superior. A lot of the things that happen on this album, and feature wise, Pop Smoke kind of outshines everything. This track is very radio friendly, perhaps forced. It sounds like it's like supposed to be something that gets charting. Quavo sounds like it's a run of the mill Migos verse. Song doesn't really develop either, so I gave that one a C plus. Next track, Said Some, Moneybagg Yo. Kind of sounds like a run of the mill rapper that's floating around these days. It's a talk shit bitch song. Like categorically, he's kind of just going off on someone or something. It features this weird glitchy type beat. It's spacey at times. Typical trap production, trying to force this really hard exterior on the persona that Moneybagg Yo is portraying. Um, the hook is okay. I gave it a B minus. Next, we're back to Pop Smoke. Creature featuring Swae Lee and Pop Smoke. This might almost got Worst Song of the Week, but there's some other stuff. Swae Lee's crooning sounds really wimpy. It's kind of bad. Definitely not anything that is Ray Sherman quality. This does feature a drill type beat as well that's used. It kind of saves the song, gives the song some presence. Overall, it has kind of like this darky mood aesthetic. Overall, Swae Lee's stuff is just pretty underwhelming. Pop Smoke is the superior, I guess, part of the song. This one's a C minus. Next, we get Enjoy Yourself featuring Karol G, which I thought this was one of the more interesting ones, even though it wasn't my favorite. Karol G is a Latin artist, primarily within like the reggaeton and club uh, Latin club sort of thing. So yeah, she sings in Spanish. This track features a clean guitar instrumental with some crooning. It's pop friendly. Pop Smoke kind of sounds like 50 Cent here. It's about admiring a female. The song, somewhat charming. He has some pretty corny stuff. I've quoted. He has a line that says "Pussy wet like Katrina," And this is kind of foreshadowing my problems with this album. Um, we'll get to that here in a sec. Karol G is definitely utilized pretty well. I like her presence. She sings in Spanish. This song does have a bit of does have issues with being repetitive. Overall, it's not bad. I give it a B. Next track is Snitching featuring Quavo, Pop Smoke. This one is kind of based around like a cool bass guitar line, like this bass line in the beat. A lot of trapisms, I'd say, trap cliches. I'd say it's Migos like, but a little bit more tasteful. The beat and flows line up, so like there's parts where the rapper and the rhythm that's being performed in the beat line up. It's not bad. I like it. The hook is really stupid on the song though. Once again, Pop Smoke outshines Quavo. Future's verse isn't bad though. I'd say it's probably the second best. I give this one a B. Next here we have a track that I feel like probably shouldn't have been on here due to the nature of it though. It's Bad Bitch from Tokyo intro by Pop Smoke. This is literally just an intro track, and the only reason it got onto the Billboard Hot 100 was due to the fact that it got streams because people are streaming the album. But this really isn't a developed song. It's kind of like if like we had some weird ambient track on an album that is just there for effect, just make it into this. So that's maybe something Billboard can work on in terms of like how to fix songs getting on here. Overall, though, the track was pretty decent. It was just really short. It's like under a minute. It has like a dope drill type beat onto it. It's a really short intro track. That's the only problem I have with it. It has like this cool synth organ that's utilized. Um, if it was developed into a full song, it would have been better. So I give it a B. I would take that with a grain of salt, though. What you know about love? If I Pop Smoke, this is a song that samples an R&B song, um, which happens more than once on this album. Um, it has like this weird faded effect. I think it samples that song "My Whole Life Has Changed" by some band that was big in the '90s or R&B artist. But that sampled faded effect does come in clearer, and you can obviously hear what's going on. Typically, I don't like when this is done, but I think here it's done pretty decently. This is a very radio friendly track, though. Has like this 2000s hip hop aesthetic, bubblegum pop like, and this is a problem that happens on this album, I think, where it kind of has like this playful like nature to it, but it just comes off to me in a rather insincere way, where it's just obviously pandering to get something played on the radio. So I gave this track a C plus. Next track, it's by no one other than Pop Smoke. Yeah, yeah. This one has a 2000s hip hop flavor to it. I like the instrumental. Bass drum punches in pretty well. There's some light, airy guitars that are used. The hook is like syncopated, it's somewhat catchy. Um, it's a song about being bougie. It's somewhat filler, not too memorable, but overall I gave it a B minus. Next song, Something Special by Pop Smoke. This is something with some more pop flavor to it. It's glitzy, it's light, it's sampling a '90s R&B song again. That song's "So Into You" that Donald Glover covered one time, and it got pretty big. Um, it kind of has like this '90s Biggie Smalls type flow to it on Pop Smoke's part. Song about being a star-crossed lover. Hook is kind of put together. Um, there's a nice melodic guitar line in the chorus, but overall I gave it a C plus. 44 Bulldog by Pop Smoke. This is another track that has a drill beat style. The rapping and the flow are very UK drill like. Like this is like the most like UK drill scene type song I think I've gotten off this album so far. Or that's the songs that came in this week. Um, it sounds like Pop Smoke actually has an accent on here. It's pretty stripped down, just a sparse trap beat with like a dark piano chord progression. And it has like these vocals and ad libs going on. The rapping's pretty decent. I give this one a B. Next track we have is Gangstas by Pop Smoke. This is probably one of the more forgettable ones. It's very nonchalantly performed, especially in the hooks. It has like this relaxed type of aesthetic, very 50 Cent like. Utilizes the also common dark minor piano instrumental. It's pretty filler. It's low key, pretty forgettable. I give it a C. Next track is "Got It On Me" by Pop Smoke. This has a poorly written hook, generic sounding, very generic sounding on the hook. It sounds like it could be found on something like an Imagine Dragons track. It's like that bad. Has features like this very fast technical rapping, a decent flow on the second verse. It goes for like this big anthem like sound, but it falls short in my opinion. But I think the only thing that saved it was the rapping, so I give it a B minus. Next track is one of the bigger ones. It's "The Woo" featuring 50 Cent and Roddy Ricch by Pop Smoke. Yeah, so go figure that 50 Cent would be featured on track because Pop Smoke sounds like him at times. I would say Pop Smoke's probably a little bit better of a rapper though, or was a better rapper. But The Woo features a clean guitar, a trap beat in the production. It's somewhat colorful with these running guitar lines. It colors the instrumental. Roddy Ricch here is pretty annoying. I don't know really why they utilized him in this fashion or why he's on the track because it really doesn't fit the song too well. I feel like maybe Young Thug or someone else could have done it better. 50 Cent's part's okay. The hook is very radio friendly. And then it alludes to the obvious candy shop similarity. Um, it's a very dirty kind of song. It features a key change. It seems a little stale. And that's what happens. So I give that one a C. Next track we have is "For the Night" featuring Little Baby and Dub Baby by Pop Smoke. Again, this one probably could have been worst track of the week. This didn't impress me that much. It has like this cheap keyboard synth instrumentation. I do like the wobbly deep sub bass though, so it does borrow from drill beat once again. Saves the song. Gives it a kind of melancholy atmosphere. Little Baby's part's generic. And then the baby's part kind of goes meta and it acknowledges the death of Pop Smoke. Overall, unfortunately, I found it a little filler. D plus on that. So if you gotten all the way to here, thanks. We're done with the bulk of this. So that was a lot. So now we are to the portion why I do what you come for, the worst and best track of the week. Worst track of the week is Mood Swings featuring Lil Tjay by Pop Smoke. The reason why this is worst track of the week is because Lil Tjay is not doing anyone any favors by contributing to the singing. His vocal ad libs are bad. He has like this cheap auto tune going on here. Pop Smoke's performance here isn't his strongest either. He's rapped much better. And overall, it's just stupid. Like the contents of the song, it's just a nasty sex song. It's vulgar. It features like this typical trap production stuff being said here, like couldn't hold it in. Now she needs Plan B, and just it's just a lot of that. There's really nothing else going on. There's some melodic elements that texture the track, light electronic keys that outline everything. But Lil TJ is just annoying. He's vulgar, uh, kind of plug and play and juvenile. It's easily replaceable. So I think like if you're gonna make a song where you're bragging about being such a fuckboy, uh, maybe don't get like a artist to feature on here that sounds like he's a prepubescent. So this is a D plus. Well, it doesn't really deserve a rating. It's just the worst track of the week. Um, And so we get to the best track of the week, which really in this track really features a lot of things I like about Pop Smoke. It even kind of surprised me because Quavo's on here, and I'm not a huge Migos fan either. But "Aim for the Moon" featuring Quavo and Pop Smoke. It has like this drill beat production again. It features like this good aggressive flow. I like the instrumentation, the production. There's a nice cool hook that's here that is supported by like this melodic sub bass. So it's a really textured track. Um, it even has like this development here where Quavo's feature has like this spacey nature to it. The beat gives a lot of energy to the track, and it's actually very similar to like something like a Travis Scott song, but just very tastefully done. And overall, I thought it was the best track of the week. If you're going to listen to this album, I'd say "Aim for the Moon" is probably one of the highlights. So, yeah, we made it through this episode of Best and Worst Track of the Week. I thank you guys for listening and keeping up with me to the end of this episode. Look out for some more stuff being reviewed soon, and take care of yourselves. We'll see you guys soon.